Right, here we are at the end of the third painting session. Quite good progress today. It was a long session, morning and afternoon. So the face is pretty much finished. As I said, I wanted it to kind of not really stand out. I want it to sort of recede. Managed to get Steve in, so very happy about that. There he is. And there's a picture of my son and my daughter, and there's Cheryl. There's the painting of Cheryl on the wall. So I need to do more of that. Got the bin done. You'll see you'll see in the time lapse, which will follow now, I did have to rejig these angles. I've been basically trying to do the shapes from the photograph, but also the observation of the studio. So off we go. This is day 3. The first day was just putting in the undercoat of the burnt umber acrylic, which you can still see in the foreground. And then day 2 was blocking in. And so here I am on day 3, and I'm starting off with the darks. So I like to start a painting session with the darks because it's easier to add light on dark than dark on light when you're painting with oil. And also I like to sort of start in my comfort zone. So I just started on a large green area under the table. That's my old trunk from school. And then I'm kind of going around picking out landmarks. I've put all the main features in from the photo, so I've got the kind of location of them. But the advantage of sitting where I am now is that I can observe all the effects of the light and the colours from life. So I'm using this stick to set up the vanishing, the lines of the tiles, and I've got Cheryl's knee in that portrait behind me there as the vanishing point of the lines. And you can see sometimes I'm rubbing them out with a rag soaked in Zest-It, just paint thinner. And because the acrylic underneath is completely dry, that's fine, it doesn't disturb that, so it's a really nice way to do it. I really like the texture of that underpainting. It's very rough, and if you look back on my YouTube channel, you'll see me doing it a couple of days ago. I saved that as a live video. And the travertine tiles, being a natural surface, have got a lovely irregularity and a lovely warmth to them, and the light bounces so nicely through that layer of burnt umber. So I'm hoping to leave some of that visible in the finished painting. And you'll see, so these lines, these horizontal lines that I'm doing now, are really on the tilt, deliberately, but I think I overdid it a bit. So at lunchtime, I rethought it and then came back and rubbed out some of those foreground ones. It just looks a little bit too fisheye. So that's the table edge there going in. And I've got lots of shadows that I'd mapped out previously under the figure, and I've actually lost some of those. I thought it would probably be good to get the travertine tiles in without shadows, and then I will add the shadows on top tomorrow or at my next painting session. So this is adding some of the texture to the tiles, but hopefully not losing that texture underneath. One of the nice things about doing this sort of thing from life, so where I'm sitting on the floor, it allows me to observe all the features except the figure from life, is that I can notice things like, I don't know if you can see under the bin, I've picked out the reflection, so the vertical line of light that's being caught from the window on the bin was, I noticed, reflected in the travertine, and there's also a reflection, you can't quite see it here, but of the Lego box which is behind the bin. So that's the last vestige of this room's previous use as a playroom. And here I am adding in just general detritus. There's some pots of brushes there on top of the table. I really tried not to sanitize my environment at all, so it's kind of as it was. And one thing I did do was I added in I sort of extended, there's Steve going in, I extended a kind of dark red panel that was on the far right, just slightly more, so that I could pick out Steve's bones a little bit more for the viewer. So you'll see that going in a minute. There's the stand. He's got a very rickety stand, it's missing a foot. There we are, there's that backing going in. I just took a bit of artistic license so that Steve's more obvious. And I think it's quite nice that he's looking in towards the scene. So these are just bits of bubble wrap basically that I save under there. I spent quite a long time trying to sort out those tiles at the back. Couldn't quite get the lines right. And I really enjoy doing reflections, so that's the reflection going on. So this is where I'm leaving it now for a couple of days. I will be carrying on Monday. So thanks so much for watching and for all your comments and messages. I'm really enjoying doing this painting and look forward to carrying on Monday.